Hello Pisces, and welcome to your in-depth March astrology forecast for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you subscribed. This month begins with the Sun, Mercury and also Neptune in your sign. Neptune, your ruler. Mercury in retrograde. That began on the 17th of February last month. Now, ordinarily, when the Sun moves into our own sign, as it did in February for you, this gives you a real opportunity to thrust forwards in a very single-minded way. And you may have been doing this, but I think Mercury is very important to your journey this month, because on the 4th, it inverts into the sign of Aquarius. So the retrograde takes it back into the sign preceding yours. It's actually exalted in Aquarius, so it's a good location for Mercury, and comes out of the retrograde on the 10th and returns to your sign on the 16th. And I think it's going to be when it comes out of shadow on the 29th of March that you're really going to have a much greater sense of certainty about your direction of travel, because Mercury in retrograde is in detriment in your sign. So ever since it moved into your sign on the 3rd of February, although your ideas, you may have set your hopes on something, it may have felt a bit sluggish or not quite accelerating at the speed you want. And of course that's been accentuated by the retrograde. However, the 5th is a really important day this month because Venus moves out of your sector of resources, where it's been doing you a big favour and may have brought some extra loot your way in the preceding 28 days, but it moves into your 3rd solar house, the sign of Taurus. Venus governs Taurus. It loves being here and it embraces the rather radical and random energies of Uranus. So from the 5th through to the 12th, expect something quite unexpected to happen around a communication. You may just wake up one day and think you want a new mode of transport, a new computer, a new phone. These kind of things are entirely possible when we get the desire of Venus and the unpredictability of Uranus. Then again, perhaps you're going to be a bit more direct with someone in a communication, which can surprise them. But equally, on the 5th, the Sun in your sign goes into a merger with Neptune. This can help you to access that part of your nature which is much more ephemeral, which is much more to do with your senses, your spiritual dimension. If you've got even a grain of psychic ability, it's going to be hugely heightened from the 5th through to the 12th. Your ability to paint or to photograph or to visualize or to enjoy taking in those kind of things is really going to be enhanced hugely. But your physical vitality may actually drop a little bit because Neptune can be quite draining. So just be conscious of that. But I do feel that you're going to be in a very heightened sensitive place. So if you do encounter a problem on the back of the full moon, which occurs on the 9th, with the opposite sign to yours of Virgo shining back across the heavens, I think the moon's opposition to the Sun could be because someone's seeing a relationship situation differently to you. And Neptune could distort your reality a little bit, but equally it could make you even more sensitive to other people. It depends on the type of person you are, the type of natal chart you have, but this is the potentials. But equally, from that full moon, which could mean that some kind of discussion happens in the following 2 weeks about a relationship, you can find out who you can really invest in for your future. And that's because Jupiter and Pluto come together in a wonderful collaboration from the 9th right through to the end of the month. And Saturn, which has been causing such mischief around your friendships, your higher hopes, the more idealistic side of your nature over the last couple of years, that's inching forwards towards Aquarius. So these two are now free to be. Jupiter isn't at its best in Capricorn, and they are going to go through a 4-month retrograde in Jupiter's case and around about a 5-month retrograde in Pluto's case later this year, and that will potentially slow down some of your hopes. But I think this month you really have an opportunity to flourish. So what Mercury's retrograde is doing by moving back into Aquarius, your 12th house, is really asking you to confront some kind of essential truth around a loyalty, around a sacrifice, around a loss, to really embrace it once and for all, to come to terms with it and to liberate yourself where possible. Because the sun is going to be arriving in the sign of Aries. We're going to have the vernal equinox, the first point of Aries, on the 20th of this month. But also, this for you is a time when you can start to firm up your sense of self, because the sun's going to embrace the comet, which is the wounded healer, Chiron. So if there have been issues around finance, have been issues about how you feel about you, if you're letting other people's judgment affect you too much, this can be a time when you can improve things enormously. Then on the 22nd, Saturn does move into Aquarius. It's going to be joined by Mars on the 31st. Now, I have to be really honest, Saturn moving through the 12th house can be quite a complex journey. It can be a lot to do with learning about the hidden side of your nature, your shadow side. If you're particularly interested in personal development, it's possible that you're already very much through and into the journey of embracing that side of your nature. If you're less open, or have been less exposed, I should say, I apologise for saying less open, if you're less exposed to perhaps some things that have been left in residue from your past, then Saturn and Mars coming together in your 12th house can bring some surprises linked to your past, and they can be positive, but they can also ask you to come to terms with something, especially by the end of June. And then Saturn returns in a retrograde back into Capricorn before returning to Aquarius on the 14th of December. However, on the 24th, we do have a new moon in Aries, brilliant for your finances, and it links with Uranus. That dazzle, that white light of something unexpected and exciting happening really quickly, just blazing in from the ether, that can occur from the 5th to the 12th as Venus and Uranus combine. It can happen again from the 18th to the 25th as Mercury links in with Uranus in a special way, as it did last month. So this can be a time when you can really tread the newer, more innovative path. You can be a trailblazer if you back yourself and go for it. Mercury comes out of shadow at 29th in your sign. Mars moves into Aquarius. That is a bit complex, but I think in the here and now, which is going to be much more obvious, I feel, that new moon is so positive. So it provides a backdrop of energy from the 24th into pretty well the first 3 weeks of April. And it's a chance for you to improve your lot in a material and physical way, and also how you feel about you. And it can come in some unexpected ways, because Uranus is in your 3rd house. So connecting with different types of people, with people who are bright and perhaps a bit challenging in some ways, make you look at things in different ways, but helpfully, not force you. Or you can find yourself learning about different things. You may develop an even greater fascination in astrology. And Uranus can be very good for you all through this year. So that's the month for you, Pisces. It does ask you to go with the flow in that Mercury retrograde, and then its emergence back into the light in your sign. But if you'd like to know more about what makes you tick beyond just your sun or ascendant of Pisces, why not click the link beneath this video? You can get your personal horoscope, your character analysis, showing where all the planets are and the houses they are, the activity centres in your situation. Totally unique to you. Plus get a 12-month forecast and get 30% off, or you can choose to have a one-to-one consultation with me. But for now, good luck and goodbye.